Guys, welcome back to the show. What a weekend. England, Spain, Italy. In fact, emphasis on Italy, where we're looking at a very close title race being, giving us some indicators of who is going to come out on top. But it looks like it's going to go down to the last day and to the last piece of play. Welcome back to the show. How una dey? How are you doing? I hope you're all good. I hope you're fine. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Guys, we feel so blessed. We feel so humbled. Sabubu, we are almost coming to the end of season 1 of Fantastic's podcast. How does it feel to have run through for a season?
Well, I always tell people that if you have something you want to do and you have the plan marked out, but you don't have motion, it will just be a plan in a paper. But you know what we did? We took it head on and said, you know what, we can do this podcast. We are here. In less than 2-3 months, we'll be marking 1 year of this great show. But let's start. We have a new FA Cup winners in England.
Yeah, it has been said, or a lot has been said about a season of firsts.
Yes.
A lot of people winning their first trophies.
Yes.
A lot of clubs winning after a long hiatus of trophy barrenness. Well, congratulations to Crystal Palace. Let's take nothing away from them. You have to make an effort. You have to be present and you have to give it your best to be able to get over the line. But what's happening with Manchester City and Pep Guardiola?
Nothing is really happening with Man City and Pep because
You are not wrong. Nothing is happening.
we did not look at the playbook of Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
He won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt about 2 years ago. He's not a bad coach.
Of course not.
I can see that his imprint in that team started coming to fusion about 6 months ago, because that was when he actually got the team he really wanted, the way he wants the team to play. Look at the semi-finals against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
They allow, you know what Crystal does to you? They give you the ball, but they will come at you one way or the other.
No, they are very good counter-attacking side.
One way or the other, they are counter-attacking teams because they have the personnel to play that role. But before we get to the FA Cup final that happened on Saturday, we have the mini Champions League tournament happening in England, where
everybody is scrambling,
and
to
shamelessly, Tottenham Hotspur lost their 20th match of the season on Friday night to Aston Villa, and the great Manchester United, the Supreme, I call them the Supreme, until Liverpool took over that crown. They lost again.
Wow.
To Chelsea. The match was kind of a drab match,
For some time. Yeah.
But when Maguire scored that goal that was chunked out, it's like Chelsea realized that this guy was not here to play.
Yeah.
They stepped on that. The goal was awesome. I like James, the turn he did, the cross and all. But United have been poor this season. Tottenham, I won't say they are poor. They are nothing to write home about.
Tottenham have been miserable. Now, Sabubu, you're right. I mean, these are two teams that traditionally you'll be looking at them
in the top 6. Yes.
Tottenham from years past have been knocking at the door of the Champions League or of Champions League qualification always. But this is a season to forget for both of those clubs. And it's a pity because these are managers that normally you rate them.
Use the word, they came highly
recommended.
Thank you.
So I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know what's up, but I don't think firing those coaches is going to really solve the problem.
No.
I don't think any rush of blood to the head decisions by the owners and board of directors, Levi and Radcliffe is going to do anything.
What's going to happen is they're going to give them the benefit of doubt for next season. Amorim winning the Europa League or not will remain.
Yeah.
Postecoglou, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's likely to get fired.
You understand?
He's very likely.
Now, I heard the guy that they would have loved to take over the team is going to Saudi Arabia. The present coach of Fulham.
Fulham.
You understand?
Saudi money.
It's somebody they've been...
Saudi money is not playing.
No, I appreciate the guy. The guy turned them down at the start of this season to remain in England. So the truth of the matter is, we just have to take these teams the way they are. You understand? It's a total mess.
I think it's not just from the coaching or the tactical aspects. Structurally, these teams have been set up for failure in advance.
You're right.
Yes.
I won't argue about that.
Tottenham's recruitment, same with Manchester United, has not reflected the caliber of club that they are.
Okay.
They have not been able to reinforce smartly. Now, they have had some good signings. Van der Ven is one of them. Pedro Porro lately. But you see, they signed Solanke to replace Kane.
Okay.
And credit to him, he has scored some goals. But he has not been able to stay fit. He has not been able to really give them that fear factor that a hurricane gives you when he's on the pitch. And for Manchester United, I mean, look at the glut of signings they have had and look at the results. Well, like I said, they can't wait for next season. And let's take it at that. Hopefully, these two giants reawaken.
Another thing about it is, one of them will be in the Champions League next season.
Whether we like it or not.
One of them will win
the Europa League this season.
A Continental Cup.
Yes.
One of them will have the opportunity to rebuild with good players, because the Champions League gives you that power to...
That pulling power.
But another thing is, most players will ask, will my career go up? Will it stagnate or will it go down if they go to any of these clubs, if they are playing in the Champions League? There are a lot of dead woods in both teams that need to be cleared out as fast as possible. And the owners of both teams should stop being emotional. They should get to the business. If it means players on long contracts that you can't get out, cancel it and let them take a walk. Take the losses and build for the future. Because among these two teams, United are the ones that tend to have a better future compared to Spurs.
Because of their financial might
and
their reputation.
Their reputation, they still have better players than
Spurs to an extent.
So they might be able to keep some of the good players if they win Europa League this season. For Spurs, it's going to be a very difficult long road for them. They win it, they don't win it. Because the owner of the club needs to recuperate the money he used to build that stadium. Yes. So he can't spend the way he would wish to spend.
Yeah.
And finishing 17th is not going to help in the Premiership. Because for every position you finish,
there's an accruement of the TV money.
Yeah, there's a higher incentive. The winners of the Europa League would earn less than 30 million, right?
Yeah.
So for every transfer they're going to do in the new season, it is deferred payments from the monies they will make from the Champions League. They will bank on for the transfers they will do structurally, how they're going to pay for
it.
So you see where the wala is.
It's very important for not just them. And Chelsea took a huge step towards actualizing their own Champions League ambitions with
that match
a battling win against Manchester United. And a lot has been said about Enzo Maresca, but take it or leave it. If he gets Chelsea into the Champions League next season,
it's an achievement for him, big time.
Yes, and is able to, overcome Betis in the Conference League final, then it will be a big win. It will be a positive season for him and for the club. So that's something to watch out for. Chelsea have shown some spirit in this final round of games. They want to prophesy doom and say they'll likely not win 3 of those games, but they have won 4. And it's a good one for them.
Well, the German Bundesliga ended finally on Saturday, and as we said, you said Dortmund needed a run of matches to make it. They ended up finishing 4th. So they qualified for the Champions League, same with Eintracht Frankfurt, Bayern Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. Then Freiburg would take the stage in the UEFA Europa League. Their Mainz will play in the Conference League. German Bundesliga was interesting this season. Bayern came back, they won their trophy back, and we want to see something tougher next season. We don't even know the coach who will take over at Leverkusen, but they're going to lose 2 of their great players.
Yeah.
That young German midfielder and Boniface. Boniface is already from the feelers we are hearing, they say Newcastle have contacted his agents in case
Isak leaves. So, for the Bundesliga, like you said, Bayern have set themselves up for another, run of dominance in the league. They have exciting young players. You were talking about Leverkusen losing 2 of their players. I think they are going to lose more than 2. Frimpong is likely joining Liverpool.
Yeah, he's in discussion with Liverpool to take over the role of Alexander.
So the 30 or 35 million club, is it? The 35 million club are going to sign on that 35 million player. Jonathan Tah is a free agent. He's likely to join either Bayern Munich, but it is rumored he's holding out for a contract from Barcelona.
Okay.
So that's 2 other players added to Florian Wirtz, who might join Bayern, who is being linked with Manchester City, Real Madrid, and the likes. And then, like you said, Boniface is likely that their top scorer this season, Schick, is also going to be poached. So we have to watch how that goes. But like we said, the Bundesliga, I don't think it will get tougher. Because like you said, Alonso has left. Likely to be replaced by Erik ten Hag. Likely. Yeah, because Fabregas has already said he's going to stay at Como. So it's likely Ten Hag. I don't see a big deal coming out next season, but football always springs surprises.
Then for the Serie, Atlanta made do of beating Genoa away, so they've officially qualified for the Champions League next season. Then the FA Cup, we talked about it, which was played on Saturday afternoon/night, and congratulations to Crystal Palace. They will represent England in Europa League for next season. Then Sunday's fixtures, we saw Lazio doing an Italian job to Inter. Inter were practically cruising in that match. 1 goal equalized. They gave them penalty. They lost it. Then Parma held Napoli to a draw. So as it is, it's just 1 point.
Separating Napoli and Inter.
Yes, and
going into the final game.
Final showdown. So it's winner takes all. That is it. Now remember, if Napoli loses at home and Inter draws away, they will be on level points. Now they don't use goal forward or goal against or goal difference or head to head. They will not do a playoff. That's where Italy is. Then for England, we saw matches where Everton beat Southampton 2-0. The last match at Goodison Park. We saw people crying.
Yeah.
But
now they cry for stadium.
People like to remain in the past. They don't like to look to the future.
No. It's just nostalgia. We don't blame them. A lot of memories.
Then Nottingham Forest made do that Chelsea would have to suffer on the last day to qualify for Champions League because they won against West Ham. And if they beat Chelsea on the last day, they qualify for Champions League. Arsenal beat Newcastle.
Assured of their own place in the Champions League.
They are officially finishing second. Atletico destroyed Real Betis' chances of finishing Champions League by beating them 4-1. So as it is, next season is going to be very, very tough because the coach roller coaster thing will start in NS. You understand?
Yeah.
Some players are trying to run out of their contract because they want to play in the FIFA World Club.
Yeah.
We know those players.
Looking at how the Italian league has played out, is really something to, it's really something to comment because whenever, AS Roma also defeated Milan.
Milan 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
And Juventus won against...
they are looking a bet for the Champions League places also.
They're fourth now. So Roma is... it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. So it's just something that excites because most times you look at leagues like Italy, you look at leagues like France, Germany, you feel like there's not much excitement because you could predict. But I mean, we are going to keep our eyes glued to our screens up until the final whistle of the last round of matches in Serie A because who knows, it might be a win for somebody, a draw, a playoff, whatever, we'll be there to enjoy it. And then, like you said, well, I don't know, but whatever is going to happen on the final day, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, with Aston Villa looking for a shot in and Newcastle, it's just the excitement of the game and it's what we live for. So Chelsea will be looking at finishing the season on a high. Manchester United might do a favor to 1 or 2 people because, they might have won the Europa, they might be excited, euphoria, or they might be angry. But whichever one it is, we'll be there on the case. And we'll be back to tell you the story. Please let your team not be on the losing side, because for the final episode of the season, everybody go collect. Spread them 1-1. We go on a short break. When we come back, we are going to look at how the week is shaping up. And this week is not for the weak.
The FA Cup has been played on Saturday. And as I speak to you, we pray City does not have a hangover in their scheduled match they're going to play this week. Liverpool will go to Brighton. Maybe it's more like the players' minds are already at the beach. So
Let's just go through this and get on holiday.
Yes.
Yeah, we have won the league.
the Crystal Palace will play Wolves, so we don't know the atmosphere that will be at Serie Park.
It's going to be a celebratory one. The FA Cup will come home, so they want to finish the season
The Man
on the
City
strong.
will play Bournemouth. We don't know the mental state City will be at, but if they're in that killer mood, Bournemouth are dead.
Yeah, like you said, I kind of feel like City switched off this season. I don't know why, but you kind of get that vibe that they are low on confidence.
Yeah, they're low.
Did you notice that, normally Haaland will step up to take that penalty, but he handed it to Mamouche? It just goes to show that there's a little crisis of confidence within the players where they can't really back themselves.
So now we all have to agree that Rodri's injury was not the main thing.
No, it wasn't the main thing. And I tell you, this is something that happens when a team has dominated for so long. When you have dominated, you have reached the pinnacle. There's this certain complacency that settles in first.
Yeah.
When that settles in, people start hurting you. People are able to get at you. People are able to inflict
but
defeat.
Well, it depends.
Your confidence goes down.
It depends on teams. Do you know why I said so? I remember the great Milan team of the 90s. They never lost confidence. The only thing around them was they were winning the Serie year in, year out, winning champions. The only thing was everybody around them now stepped up. Parma, Sampdoria, and Juventus.
Yeah.
You understand? Everybody now said, you know what? These guys should not come down from where they are. So let's just keep pursuing them. And Milan always had that edge of getting the best players.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Now the Premiership has money. The teams Bournemouth can buy.
Attract.
Bayern Munich cannot attract those players except they want to go extra mile, like the way they went for Harry Kane. Because Spurs were not willing to sell to any Premiership English rival. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the confidence was there. And as you remember, there was an episode we did that you said the team is aging. The spine of that team is aging.
That's true.
And Guardiola did not start his rebuilding on time. He's the same man that spent £200 million in January.
Yeah.
And nothing to show for it.
But like I said, because, this is an accumulation of factors. But generally, you look at it, the pattern is there that these guys have lost their aura of invincibility.
Mojo.
You understand?
Use the word mojo.
When Man City is in town, I don't care who you are. Liverpool, Arsenal, you are scared. But nobody is scared of them anymore. A Bournemouth is going to come out and press the neck of Man City.
I tell people that
from the get-go.
I tell people that two teams exposed City in the past 3 years, and it was Liverpool and Arsenal. They exposed City. People don't realize that they can be played off the
No,
back.
it's not even about exposing them. There is a certain level of tactical acumen and quality of players that you will need to even be able to compete at that level.
Let us leave City.
But
let us talk about the final of the Europa League between the team that is 16th and 17th. That final will be at Bilbao.
Sabubu, this one,
Please don't be angry.
No, I'm not angry. But how did you 16th and 17th, how did we get here? How?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Make I look on the para for you, like your fault. But I mean,
Who do you think will win that match?
I would back Manchester United. I'll back Manchester United. Now I know they have lost to Tottenham already. Tries about.
They're going to play Spurs this season again.
Three times this.
I guess I think the last match is against Spurs.
No, it's Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, okay, fine.
Aston Villa. So they have already lost 3 times to Tottenham this season. They won't want to make it a fourth.
Okay.
And looking at the competitiveness they brought to the Chelsea fixture, I kind of feel like they are looking good. They are definitely looking better than Tottenham for me, because I also saw the other game and Tottenham are just so out of sorts. I mean, the tactics does not coordinate, relate,
So you are saying you're
Manchester United for me. Yeah.
Okay, for me, for investors, I speak on behalf of investors, both teams to score.
Look at you, sitting on the fence like a thief.
Well,
who is going to win?
Tottenham win or draw.
Tottenham win or draw. Okay. So then, because both teams to score is a safe bet.
Therefore, we have the Italian Serie will be decided on Friday. They did it for the cameras.
Yeah.
The two top teams are playing on Friday. Then the other teams will say they will go and choose the date they want to play.
Anything you want to do, you can sort yourself out.
Como will take on Inter in Como. In Naples, it will be Napoli and Cagliari.
Yeah.
These matches are 19:45 Central African time.
So you come out with your caterpillar or cat for short.
So
and we watch it.
This is straightforward for you. Como Inter, who will win that match?
I see a draw in that fixture, funny enough.
Same here.
Funny enough.
I look at that Inter win or draw. Then Napoli Cagliari.
I would say Napoli straight win.
Because as it is,
it's just the point.
The trophy would be on standby both centers.
It will be flying
in the air until whosoever decides to.
Village people trophy will just be happy.
Then on Saturday, Real Madrid will finish the season against Real Sociedad. They are guaranteed to finish second. So that is it. Let us go to the mini Champions League tournament.
Yes. The mini league in the league.
See, all matches will be played by 4 p.m. Nigerian time because we're in Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes.
Let's leave Bournemouth and Leicester. Those ones they are doing send forth for the season. Fulham will take on Man City. After Man City might have beaten Bournemouth, they still need to beat Fulham. Right?
Yeah.
Then
that's an outstanding game from their exertions in the FA Cup.
Aston Villa will take on United. I don't know the United squad that will show up on that day, irrespective of what happens that day, but Villa needs the 3 points to go through. We all know Newcastle will play Everton, and the kind of atmosphere they have at that stadium, I'm looking at a Newcastle winning this match.
I don't think it's that straightforward though.
I am telling you, it's very straightforward.
Okay.
Because if not for the heroics of Real yesterday, they would have beaten Aston in that match.
We go see talk, no worry.
Arsenal will take on Southampton. They're already on holidays. So anything happens, it's left for them. The match that is in my heart is
Nottingham Forest.
I see you're looking at me.
No, of course, that's like one of the most
Nottingham versus Chelsea. Now, as it stands on the table, Liverpool has won the league at 83 points, Arsenal 71. So they can be caught, but nobody can pass them based on their goal difference.
Yeah.
Newcastle 66, Chelsea 66, Aston Villa 66, Manchester City 65, Nottingham Forest 65. Now let me play out the scenario for you so you get to know how it is. Chelsea is playing Forest. That's 4th versus 7th.
Yeah.
Chelsea is on 66, Forest on 65. A draw is not good for Forest, but a draw might be good for Chelsea
depending on other results.
If Man City, beat Bournemouth, City goes to 68 points, so they have 3rd to themselves. So they just need a draw in their last match to qualify. Newcastle needs to win. Because if Newcastle wins their match, they are guaranteed of finishing in the top 4. So the problem now is Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa. Because if Villa wins and every other team does not win, they would.
They are also in the top 4.
Yes. So presently they are 5th and it's top 5 that is going through.
Yes. So it's an interesting merry-go-round, and one thing you can be assured of is the unpredictability that comes with the Premier League. So a lot of fans are going to cry on that final day. they are going to cry. And going by the emotions on display after, important points were picked up. And then, of course, the emotions on display when Nottingham Forest dropped points by their owner and stuff, everybody really wants this badly. But it now comes down to who has the mental fortitude to deliver on their expectations. So I cannot really predict anything.
That Chelsea, that Nottingham Forest and Chelsea.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you expecting from that match?
I expect
at
Chelsea,
the City Ground.
I expect Chelsea to fight. And I also expect Nottingham Forest to fight. Now, Nottingham Forest has nothing to lose. So the pressure is actually not on them. Nobody gave them a shot to be in this position at the beginning of the season. So the onus is on Chelsea to take the game to them, to deliver on, their own early season promise also, because everybody was like, you were contending for the title and they say, no, if you get the top 4 and blah, 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 you've spent over 200 or over 1 billion since your takeover how many years ago. So where is the ROI?
The match is going to be very tough because the way Nottingham Forest played at West Ham on Sunday, I was very impressed. I didn't expect they would go at West Ham. I know West Ham is a very difficult thing to play at home.
Yes.
They are poor away, but at home, they are something else. They take the game to you. And for what Forest did on Sunday for that match, it's going to be a very tough match.
Indeed.
Aston Villa against United, I really do not know what we'll get in that match. United might just go out all out for pride, not to want to lose that match at home. Mm-hmm. So Villa would have to play a game they've never played in a very long time to win that match. To be candid with you, for City just needs to beat Bournemouth. They need to beat Bournemouth because they're on 65 points. So if they beat Bournemouth during the week, they'll go to 68 points, right?
Yeah.
So they just need a draw against Fulham because Fulham will not make it easy for them.
At all.
You understand what I'm talking about?
No.
So the teams in danger in this qualification for the Champions League, as far as we are concerned, is Villa, Nottingham, Forest, and Chelsea.
So because Man City have a little bit of room to maneuver themselves because they have 2 games in hand.
They have a home match.
So
if they win Bournemouth, we all know.
Or even if they drop Bournemouth and pick up full points against Fulham.
It's safer for them to win at home.
Whatever it is, we are going to be there. And the tears will flow. But no problem. Once you fall, you rise up, you build again. There's still next season. So, not to kill yourself. A lot has happened over the weeks with fans reacting to their teams being eliminated from the Champions League, losing this final or losing that cup, losing that trophy. Guys, we are here to enjoy the game. The banter is not personal. If they shout one by one, they go. No go do anything, you go where you go come back from.
Everybody will collect. That's just important.
Everybody will collect. So, in the spirit of sportsmanship, collect your collect, then wait for the day when they go collect their collect so that everybody go collect. And that's it for now. Thank you so much, guys. Last episode, we were saying we are going to be out in the streets for the European finals. And once again, we are reiterating the fact that watch out for Fantactics podcast.
On the streets.
You go cite us. We go come watch Champions League. We'll come watch Europa League. We'll come watch Conference League. We'll come with our friends to watch Conference League. We'll come Champions League final because even this season, we also are champions. Like we said at the beginning of the show, it has not been an easy journey, but we have stood strong. We have stood firm and we have persevered here. We are going to be back and we are going to be better. This season, next season, every other season, all season, we tanda, and we appreciate you for always supporting us. Keep loving, liking, sharing, and following us on all platforms. And God bless you as you do so. Thank you very much from us until we come back. From me, until we come back next week. Until I come tanda with you again. Sabubu Ekun, number 1, the champion.
Well, we are heading to Bilbao, so we'll give you the scorecard after Wednesday. Take care.